estamos aquí barachando, descargando. ¡Ajá!
Good evening, people. My head didn't get bigger and I didn't get lighter. You see, what had happened was I got a MacBook, I took it apart, and I can't get it back together. I got a PC that I probably shouldn't be using right now. I can't get that to work. So I got this all fantastic, fully loaded Android. We're going to stream from an Android, but luckily I look good, so y'all get more of me to look at. And you can see this luscious body. Oh, yeah. For all the pretty ladies out there. But anyway, today's a good day. Daylight savings time has arrived. More daylight. So it don't get dark at 6 o'clock. And I'm in Florida where it's good 87, 89 yesterday. So I can run and I can wait till after work or during work and all that kind of stuff. And I can run and I get a whole bunch of heat. And it's about to be beach season. So I can go to the beach. Go to the beach with glow in the dark abs, put Vaseline on my stomach, and get all the pretty ladies. Oh, yeah. So, ladies, if your man ain't loving you right. No, real talk. Last week we did a show. And can everybody hear me loud and clear? You're going to see me looking away because I'm managing a computer and an Android as my camera. But thank y'all for coming. Shout out to Snuggles668. Shout out to NA Nia. Shout out to some of the guests that got in the bag. Last week we talked about confidence. We were talking about men's. The things that it takes to build confidence, to build these people up as people. I believe everything starts with men. We don't do this gender war. Welcome, Big Bad Boy. We don't do the gender war, beating up on men's and women's and tearing stuff down. This is the place where we try to build things up. We listen, we understand, we communicate effectively over here. And we propose solutions. That's what we're doing over here. Everybody ain't perfect, but people are welcome. So before I bring people up, I just want to know. We talked last week about men's confidence. What it can do to build it up. How does it get torn down? How does it get maintained, managed? What does it look like? What are the different types of confidence? And some of that whole process. Well, this week, I got some women's on the panel, or to be on the panel. We're going to talk about women confidence. And to be honest, I don't know everything about women's confidence. So I'm going to ask some questions, and we're going to see if we can actually have a positive conversation. Build up confidence that are tearing it down. And if y'all can hear me loud and clear, put a 1 in the chat because I'm actually on headphones. It just sounds a little different than me yelling into the microphone that I can adjust and I can talk over everybody, turn it into the Jesus mic if need be. But okay, loud and clear, cool. And put a 1 in the chat if I'm looking good and looking clean. Oh yeah, I expect a lot of 1s. Flood the chat with those 1s. But anyway. I'm pretty good looking, but I'm gonna bring up a couple pretty ladies that might not be on camera, so y'all got to look at me. But we're gonna have a discussion talking about a woman's confidence. First guest, I've known this person for a short period of time through some other panels. This person is very positive. That's the first thing that I notice. Always saying something of positive, and we're gonna get to the source of that positivity. And thank her for actually taking the time out to come and be on my show. All the other questions y'all can ask her later for a price of $59.95. Welcome to the stage. NA, how's it going? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Hey.
I don't got all the sound, so I can't do. We don't get paid over here. People are too cheap to send cash apps, so we got to work with what we got. But welcome to the panel. First time coming on, but as you see in the chat, thank you for your support.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
How you feeling today? Everything cool?
Yes, good. Brother Clarence had a good stream earlier today. And you know how I am about going on a lot of channels. But I just see that I see what you're trying to do and I support it. And each time that I've heard you and I've seen you on panels, I was able to hear your heart. Like I see like what it is that you're trying to get across to people. And sometimes like you're willing to go on panels where it's like it's really busy, kind of back and forth, people kind of really strongly wanting to get their point of views out. And I like that you stay consistent and strong in yours, and consistent in your message. So I hope that I'm able to offer something today. I didn't want to know exactly what the conversation was going to be like, because I wanted it to be authentic. But I appreciate that you thought enough of me to invite me.
Well, thank you. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, she done boosted my ego already. I done gained 5 pounds. Oh hell yeah. Let me see if the other guest, this person I met in the back of a liquor store, she was selling. No, just joking. This person I've seen across these spaces. Then she took a big break, and I can understand why, because she's been in some battle tested spaces. However, strong, confident person, speaks some positivity, pretty solid and grounded in the things that she speaks, and rocking with some people. Shout out to L Nixon if you're out there. Some people who speak powerful messages also. Welcome to the stage. Peace, love. Peace, love. What's going on?
Hello.
What's going on out there in the
Nothing
streets?
much. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm staying off of the streets, but trying to maintain some peace. But the reason why I'm here is because I like that your channel is more solution based. So I feel comfortable here. And I just want to I just want to say thank you so much for the invitation. I'm looking forward to having this discussion.
I appreciate you. Chat, work with me. I'm struggling to monitor looking at this little screen on my cell phone and with the earphones, this screen and that screen. But hey, I take responsibility. I dusted. My technology game ain't right. Androids rule. Today, yes, Androids do rule.
Yes.
They do. I have an Android too. Samsung.
Welcome, Big Bad Bull. Uh, welcome, Chris. Welcome, Travel One. Travel One. One day you're gonna go in the chat and say, you know what? I like these black men. We'll make you do so. Now you can drag all the dust panels. You can do whatever you want over there. But one day we're gonna do something so positive that you actually come over here and say, you know what? Thank you. I love these black men over here, and these men's and these women's. To start, this is just my opinion. There's an attack on confidence. There's an attack on everything in this world. There's this dude named Jesus, and there's this other dude named Satan. Jesus on a silver platter said, "Here, Satan, take the earth." Long time ago. So angels and demons been fighting. Men's and women's, tall and short, rich and broke. People just fighting, just to be fighting and fighting. Black and white, orange and green. Everybody fighting. And with all these wars, there's a bunch of mini wars. And it's like, okay, what are the most powerful things that we have? There's a fight on diet and fitness and food. Take down somebody's health, destroy them. Take down their mind, destroy them. If you can't get the health and you can't get to the mind, or you can't get to the entire mind, can't get them on heroin or whatever, what else can you do? Let's tear them down mentally from the inside out. Let's attack their confidence. Confidence will affect the way that they communicate, meaning garbage in, garbage out. I see it on the men's side. I don't fully understand it on the women's side. The first question is, do y'all believe that there is an attack on confidence?
Who do you want me to go first? Or you?
Sure.
I believe that there is some conscious and unconscious attacks. Um, that's a good question. I think some of it is self-inflicted. I think that wow, that's a good question. I do think that there's an attack, and I think that sometimes people are coming from their own insecurities and ways that they think that another person should be lower than they are, or in some ways that they are viewing people and they're seeing that they, for whatever reason, they're feeling like the people that they're attacking or wanting to, bring them down a notch, they themselves feel like those people are better for some reason. And the only way to maybe sometimes make themselves feel good is to tear them down. So it's really kind of like they're trying to coat themselves with upping themselves more than the other person. So that's a really good question. That's a really good. I do feel like there's an attack. The motive of the attack, I feel like it's a little bit all over the place.
Hmm.
I agree. I think that there's an attack on confidence. I think that confidence and self-esteem, of course, go hand in hand. And unfortunately, we now live in 2024 where social media is, that's just part of our everyday culture. It's the norm. And I think it's because I am raising a young lady who is 12 at this time. I can see it from the ground level, right? So when she is online, what she's seeing are images of women, um, you know, I feel, with their bodies and what they have, and I think that what we see online is not reflective of what's actually going on in reality. And I think that social media fosters like some sort of disconnect, and it really plays, um, and it really affects young ladies at a very young age. And these young ladies do grow up to be women, older women. And so there is a level of competition that does go on. Do you have the latest this? Do you have the latest that? What are you doing, physically? Do you have the latest braids? Do you have the latest Jordans? I'm talking about like just just her age. Um, so I think that it starts when they're young. The confidence starts when they're young. The attack on confidence starts when they're young. And I feel like it's 10 times more. Like it's not the same as when we were growing up. We just didn't have social media like that where everyone is where girls are really comparing each other, comparing themselves to each other. So I think it's subtle, but it's definitely happening for sure.
I'm gonna slow this down a little bit. I'm gonna go back because I'm gonna do attack as well as the solutions. I'm gonna do them both at the same time as I had this conversation. You say, let's start with the beginning of the attack. Let's say a person's upbringing. Where's the attack taking place? This is a two-part question. Y'all can answer any order. Where's the attack taking place? And then how can we prevent that attack and actually build confidence? Meaning little girls.
I feel like the attack takes place outside of the home.
Mhm.
The only thing that I can do once my child is in my home is to affirm her as much as possible. For me, I come from a Christian background. So she is involved in church, and she knows who her creator is and why she is beautiful. And it's so much more than just, things that are happening here on earth, right? So I feel like she has to be um, strengthened spiritually as well. And so all that stuff happens at home, inside the home. But I don't have any um, I don't have any controls over what she is taking in once she leaves my house. And so all I could do is hope and pray that everything that I have affirmed to her within my house will help her make better decisions when she leaves my house. So those are my thoughts on that. Yeah.
I had to take a referee timeout. In the back, I got another person. I met this person in a dark alley one time about 3 o'clock in the morning, digging out of
You
garbage cans.
you have
She asked me for
issues.
change. She asked me for change for a $3 bill, and I only had two.
Yeah, you have
But no,
issues.
honestly, welcome to the stage. Another person I'm pretty cool with. Been in these spaces, shares positive views, doing her thing. Uh, what else can I say that's good about her? Has a big apple head. Head is bigger than mine, and I can't think of any other cheap shots.
Wow, you're
So I'm
so
gonna just bring it
welcome.
to the stage. Melanated Lux, welcome. You're
Hey,
muted. You're muted.
Hello.
I'm gonna save the rest of the cheap shots for your final thoughts. But thank you for
hello.
coming. You got the cheap shots for showing up the latest. How
I
you doing today?
know, I know. I'm fine. How are y'all?
All is
You're
well.
good.
Struggle streaming, but we're gonna
Good.
make it.
Okay, okay, okay. So what are we
Let me.
talking about?
We're talking about the war on confidence. They're actually bringing some major points. I'm gonna get to Indy next,
Okay.
but the question was, with there being a war on confidence, what can we do? Mainly, starting with little girls. It could be your own upbringing, or if you were raising a girl, or just little girls in general. What can we do or what's going on that's attacking the confidence, and then what can we do to actually build their confidence? So it's a two-part question. And I like how, well, actually, I'm not going to spoil the fun because I know some of what Enya is about to say. Go ahead, Enya. Bring some knowledge to us.
Okay, so I'm thinking about just my upbringing. I was very fortunate to have my mom and my dad. And one of the things that I can say that I'm thankful for is how much my father uplifted me. I remember him telling me one time, baby, you don't need any makeup. I don't even know if I even asked to wear any or anything like that. I was just little, and maybe like a lot of people were just buying little girls makeup and stuff. But I thought to myself, my dad thinks I'm beautiful. So as long as my daddy thinks I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. So that in itself kind of helped me have the core of my confidence. I think that when I started recognizing a shift was in school. It was fellow classmates making certain comments, and the comments that they would make, you would think would to someone else may seem positive, but they were using it and like almost using what my dad had built up to like kind of go against me. So I think that it's outward. A lot of times I think it's in school. I think just as me now, I believe that a lot of my confidence comes from me understanding where I'm not perfect, understanding my flaws, and knowing that I'm going to slip. So if me knowing that I'm not perfect, then I can never like go my bar. My bar is exactly where it needs to be. It's accepting who I am and where I am. So like if I'm not doing something, if I'm procrastinating, if I'm being lazy, I take confidence in at least acknowledging that and understanding that I need to work on it, and I'm going to work on it, and making sure that I have the resources and the people that I can rely on and, confide in with that. So I think that it starts at the home, and in the household, we need to be consistent too. It can't be that when, your child or someone that you have the ability to impact, that when they fall short of where you think that they should be, that you recognize that one, was it you that disappointed yourself because of that expectation? Or did they actually do something where it was out of their character? So we have to give people grace, to fall and just let them know, hey, you can get yourself back up. My faith is strong. I believe in God. I accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. So a lot of my confidence comes from how I know that He sees me. So I'm confident in that way. So I do believe that people in households, I do believe that you should speak about God and speak the word. So that's what I would say.
Good points. And I knew you were going to say your source is your Lord and Savior. Though she beat you to it, but that's also my source. So, I can't be stopped. Lux tried to stop me. It didn't work. So, Lux, what you got? What's
Yes,
going on?
sir. So for me, like growing up as a child, I didn't really have a lot of confidence. Like I was bullied all throughout school. I had like a Jerry curl and I wore like these tortoiseshell glasses. And then like, I don't know, I just didn't feel myself. And I think like for me with age, I get better and I'm more confident in myself. But it came from older women with me and like joining the military. But if I didn't have like those older women along the way, I wouldn't be confident. I probably would not have achieved like everything that I achieved and stuff, because I'd be feeling like a lot of times it's so much stuff that's meant to destroy me, but I often find myself leaning on women. And I know like a lot of us don't have that support system, but that's definitely what gets me through. So
I kind of want to piggyback on what I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot your name. I forgot how to say your name.
Oh, you can. I don't. Some people say any, but it's Nia.
Oh, okay. Any?
Yeah.
Okay, Any. That's so cute.
Mhm.
All right. So I just wanted to piggyback on what you said about having, your father in the household. So same with me. And when I think back to when I was younger, because especially in middle school, I had a really tough time with my self-esteem. It was just rough. Okay. It was just rough. But when I think back to the person that really got me through those times, it was my dad. He would always tell me, that I was beautiful, and don't worry about what other people are thinking. Not only are you beautiful on the outside, but you're beautiful on the inside. All of those things. I just remembered that, and let me tell you, it really does set the tone for for a woman. To have a man affirm you at such a young age. I personally have never been. I will honestly say I've never been in a relationship that's like abusive or anything like that, because I just knew what to expect from a man, and that was to be loving and to, what there were certain expectations I had from a man. And my father did set the tone when I was younger by affirming me in a lot of ways. So I thought that was a really good point. I can definitely relate to that.
May I ask something real quick? Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Um, so with so what do you say to maybe like households that where it's like a single parent, if it's just the mom in the house, would you agree that a child or a young girl watching how confident her mother is, like that plays a role too, like how they take time to take care of themselves, whether it's just grooming, going to the store, not procrastinating on things that, like, do you feel like the role model in a home where there is no father, that's could be impactful for the households that don't have both parents?
Can I
I'll,
speak to that?
I'll,
Or do
I'll
you
let
want
y'all
me
answer first.
to? Okay.
Go ahead, Lux.
So I know for me, we moved to California for like a period of time when I was in elementary school for like 6 years maybe, but that definitely had an impact on me, like how I'm not going to necessarily say strong, but like resilient my mom was, and how she presented herself to like the world. So she had two of us, two kids, and like she always made that sacrifice, but nothing stopped her from when it was time to like get dressed up or whatever. She just showed up and showed out. And even now, I have a young mom as well, but she's still like thoroughly confident. Nothing stops her. She achieves whatever she needs to achieve. And I know for me, that inspires me too, to keep going and be confident and just step out on faith for a lot of stuff. So I do think in like single parent households, having a strong or resilient mother, it definitely matters.
Yes, I agree. Right now, I am in a single parent household, and I know that my daughter is watching me. She is, and I know that I do have an effect on how she views, um, you know, how a woman should respond to certain things in certain situations, and how she should carry herself once she's out in public, or how she should carry herself if she is dating. I mean, all of those things my daughter is watching, and I feel like it does affect her, and she's watching and she's learning. And so yeah, absolutely, I feel that the confidence that you exude as a mother does affect your child, and it can make a difference in how your child moves through the world. So absolutely.
Thank you.
Um, Let me flip it and let's bring up some dark stuff. Um, Somebody tell me about a time where your confidence was gone.
Mm.
If you'd like to share, your confidence was running on 1 or 0. Anything you'd like to share, even if it was temporary, if it was for a day, a week, or a period of time. If you'd like to share, if not, I can go
Okay.
first and put my own
I,
dirty
I think I
self
can
out
kind
there.
of think of one. So I don't know at what point in my life you were talking about, but I just know I distinctly remember one, or the one that I'll talk about. I used to dance in college, and I enjoyed dancing, but dancing with counts would throw me some. So we were going to do a competition at this other college, and I had learned the routine, and I was going to be in the front, which was it's a big deal to dance in the front. Well, because I'm not really good, or I wasn't at the time really good with knowing how to shift with the number counts of dance, because I tend to dance with the beat, or with some rhythm that I have in my head. When she changed the last 8 count, I got scared. Like, she even saw it, the choreographer, she saw it in my face. And she told me, she said, if you don't get it, you getting in the back. And I feel like and not that she's supposed to babysit me, because at this point she's probably saying, you too old for me to be trying to boost you up. But I did not feel confident that I could learn that 8 count in like 20 minutes. So I myself had defeated myself, because I didn't even give me a chance to see if I could learn an 8 count. So I danced in the back. So I was in the 3rd row when I really wanted to be in the front row, because I felt like I had practiced so hard. But I had defeated myself. I let myself down before I even gave myself a chance to say that I couldn't do it. So I had mentally defeated myself. But that's where I didn't have confidence. Now in the back, when I was dancing, I can't even tell you to this day if I got the 8 count right, but I was more confident in the back. And you shouldn't want to keep being pushed to the back just because you don't give yourself a chance to prove you can stay in the front. So that's one of the times I remember.
I feel your pain.
I mean, I've been in like a couple of relationships where towards the end, let's say you're like you're headed towards the breakup zone. And for whatever reason, well, spoiler alert, every guy that I've broken up with, they always want to come back. Okay. So let me just get to that. Let me get to the spoiler alert.
Uh-oh.
But but let me go back to my point. So right before, the breakup, you feel some sort of way, like your confidence begins to lessen, right? Because you're like, well, am I good enough? Is this not working because of me? Are there things that I should be changing about myself? If you feel like it's somebody that you actually want to stay in a relationship with, and for whatever reason they want to leave, that has happened to me twice. And my confidence was low towards the end of the relationship. But that's when you tap into your village and your friend circle, and you tap into a higher power, and then you begin to pour back into yourself, and your confidence level begins to go up. Even if the breakup happens, that's why it's so important to have a real thorough village around you, so that they can pour into you. But yeah, I've definitely had moments in relationships where I'm like, oh my God, like I'm questioning myself, like as if I'm not good enough and all of those things. Let me say that once again, twice. Okay. So, but, so yeah, so those were 2 instances. One when I was in college, right after college. Actually, you know what? It was right before I graduated college. I thought, he was going to be the one, but yeah, he was on some other type of time. Let's just put it that way. And then the second time was when I was going through my divorce process with my ex-husband. That was definitely a very trying time. Okay. But then when you step away from it, for a second, or when, like I said, when you start to connect with your friend circle, begin to pour into yourself spiritually and all those things, and you begin, there's an awakening that happens, and then you get back to yourself, like who you are uniquely. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a bad bitch. I'm going to be all right. Okay. And then and then you move on. It happens just like that. I'm just being real. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I don't know. So I struggle with confidence when it comes to making new friends. Like, I don't know. From what I went through when I was in the Army, I don't think nobody likes me. I feel like I'm always harshly judged. Like even before I speak, I'm always like, "Oh, you got an attitude. You look like you got an attitude." And I'm like, "Well, I've never said anything, so how did you get to that?" And then like after people actually take the time to get to know me, or like we ended up on details together, we ended up being pretty cool friends. But I don't know, I just feel like that's crazy. Like every time I go somewhere new, like it's always some stuff, somebody don't like me because of this, and I'm like, I've never said anything to you guys for y'all not to like me. So I don't know, and that honestly like crushes me confidence wise, because I think it's something wrong with me and that's why people don't like me. But I even feel like that translates over into like these YouTube chat spaces and whatnot. And I'm just like, I'm cool. Like, I don't understand, but that's my issue. So
I guess since y'all shared something, I'll share a dust moment. When keeping it real goes wrong. I was 20. I was on spring break. Went down to Alabama to visit my sister. She was in college with her boyfriend, who's now her husband, and was down in Anniston, Alabama for 4 days. Then I went to Birmingham for a day, then to Atlanta. But I'm like, you know what? I'm out of town because I wasn't as reckless, like talking to women's. I wouldn't just roll up on anything and just shoot a shot. So I'm like, I'm out of town. I'm in Birmingham. I'm about to just pull up. We're the best looking woman in here. So I'm buying some food or something, and I see this real cute girl, and just did like this. And what did she do? She actually came right up, right to my face. These are the best pair of eyeballs I've ever seen in my life. I don't remember. All I remember after that was her being gone and them asking me, "Sir, did you order some food?" I blacked out. I don't remember her walking away, asking me, "Did you want some?" I blacked all the way out. I felt like trash that whole day. But I'm in Birmingham. You know what? Got to start all the way over from scratch. Got to go to Walmart, wherever the parking lot, and build it back up. But it happens. And now I'm still reckless. I just fire off on it anywhere, anytime, don't matter. But at that time, no, it hurt. So I went to check in a couple of rehab centers. You know, I had to build myself back up. You know. Didn't go viral. They weren't doing that back then. But oh man. And I had to get on the phone and call a friend who's 4 years older than me. And tell him, hey man, oh man, it's bad. He had to coach me through it. Hey man, it happens. It is what it is. And you know. But did I say she had the nicest eyeballs? It was something about I'm 20. I'm not used to talking to all these women. Just somehow when she got right in my face, I wasn't expecting it. I just froze. And I wish I could tell you more, but I don't remember. I blacked out.
Wait, but at least you went to somebody to talk with somebody about it. That was courageous. That was good.
Yeah, I thought I was courageous. I thought I was the man until she got in my face. Turned straight incel, like a matter of seconds. Yeah. Next question. This is my own theory. There's a thing called dependent confidence and independent confidence. Dependent confidence. For example, me. I'll use me as example. When I was a kid, I was good at math, always. I was in second grade, my brother was in sixth. I was checking his homework. I taught myself how to multiply, add, divide, all that stuff. I was one of them genius kids. I didn't even start learning anything until 7th, 8th grade when it came to algebra. But it was a show-off thing after church, family reunions, how I can multiply, do all this. So people would assume, yeah, he's a genius. He thinks he's the man. It was dependent because it was the only thing I'm good at. What do I do when I get to math and it collapses? Now I ain't got nothing. I'm not the cute little math kid no more. Independent confidence is confidence that you build that I believe can't be taken away. For most men, which they said last week also, when you overcome something, overtake something, like knocking out a bully, or learn something you couldn't do, or become something you weren't before. Like seventh grade, I couldn't lift the bar on the bench pressing. So I couldn't even go to the weight room with football players. Couldn't get in there. Got to lift the bar. By high school, I was benching 230, 240 or something. By college, I was putting up over 300. So going from that process to weakling to strong guy means, in a lot of other things, if something bad happens, because I know the formula or how to get something done, I can go through that, meaning it can't be taken away. Do you believe that most confidence is dependent or independent in a lot of people that you see right now?
I think when we're younger, it's more dependent. And then after you go through things, it's independent. It's like you have to be tested. And once you pass the test, you could become pretty much unstoppable in some areas of your life. Because it's like if I was able to get through that, then I'm good. I'm unshakable. There's really nothing that you can say to me that can affect me. I know what I know. So I think that maybe when you're younger, it's more dependent, because you're trying to get a grasp on like where you fall, compared to everybody else. But as you get older and you start to learn real serious life lessons, it starts to become more and more. It starts to become a more independent confidence.
Now, I know that probably seems like a easy question. Okay. I would say dependent. Because I think it's always dependent on something. I was trying to listen to you when you were talking about independent to see like what's an example of like what would I consider an independent confidence, but I'm still relying on something. So I'm really trying to give an example of like where I feel like I'm honestly independent of something in my confidence. Like even if it's like with me at work, I'm very confident in my ability to communicate with my teams, to do the research that I need to, my personality doesn't waver. But it's that personality, it's that work ethic that I'm still relying on. So apologies if it's like really simple to everybody else, but give me an example of like where you say there's independent confidence.
Okay. If I fired you, if you got fired next week based on your communication skills,
Mm-hmm.
would you fall apart or would you bounce back? And would you bounce back in communication?
I would bounce back in my communication.
That means it's independent. You're so strong in your communication that if we try to take it away, you're going to come right back.
Okay.
If it's dependent, then I can just take it away and you collapse. You understand?
Yes. Okay. So I still
like your confidence depends on me. Your confidence depends on me telling you that you're a great communicator.
Okay.
So when they tell you, man, your communication sucks, I don't even want to hear nothing you got to say. You would collapse if it's dependent.
Okay. Appreciate that, y'all. So I would say dependent. At least I know, like from what I've seen on, I'm saying YouTube just because we're on YouTube talking, but this goes into life too. But I see people they're depending on the number of likes. They're depending on people agreeing with them, with whatever position that they have. It seems like they need people to agree with them. Like I see less. It's challenging to find spaces where I feel like people are sharing their ideas and not trying to not coming in with a motive to have people change and to side with them. So they're relying on their argument to have people agree with them, and they're not open to, maybe hearing a different perspective. So at least from what I see, it looks like it's more dependent.
Okay, so in my opinion, I agree with what Leslie said. So like when we're children and we're trying to navigate and come into our own, we're dependent because you're trying to find your way, find out what you like, what you don't like, what your, I guess, interests are, goals. And as you're aging, you're achieving more of your goals, and that makes you be more independent. But it really depends on you and what you like, because if you're somebody that lives off of social media, yes, you're going to be dependent on how many likes you get, your following and stuff like that. Like me, I don't care about social media. Like I'll get on for like a day, get off, deactivate, because I really don't want to be bothered. And I feel like that stuff consumes us too much, and that can alter like our mindsets and how we think, which influences what we think confidence should be. And I also agree with what Travel One said about using independent and Black women in the same sentence. It's not necessarily a bad thing. So don't shake your head, Dusto, because I want to know. Why do you think that's a bad thing? Because I feel like you could be independent and still be soft or feminine presenting as well, and be confident.
Well, that's just a trigger word because that's PTSD from dust panels, and trust me, I have it too. So
I think they can also relate to us in relationships, like when we're younger. As girls, you really don't know. You're trying to do things to get, a boy's attention, and so whether or not he's attracted to you, it could have probably affect you more. It could your self confidence, your self esteem could be a little bit more wavering. But as you get older and you've had more interaction with guys, you've been in relationships, out of relationships, that you attract a certain type, or another type is not really typically that attracted to you. Like as you mature and you've experienced more things in life and you've been in relationships, you get to a point. I just know that for me, like if a guy told me that he's not attracted to me, or there's something that isn't a good fit for him or whatever, like it doesn't stop me, it doesn't bother me. I automatically know that, hey, there's somebody that will probably be a better fit for me. um you know those are things that didn't come to me so easily when
Mhm.
I was younger. Now I just don't even. It's like, oh, okay, well, if I'm not a good fit for you, that's fine. I know somebody else is. And that's, it is what it is. But when I was younger, oh yeah, I had to be walked and talked through that, and it had to be explained to me that you are beautiful for somebody else, or you are attractive for somebody else, or you have these qualities that other people may find. But I don't. That does not have to be explained to me now that I'm a grown woman. Like, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, there are some women. I'm not going to say this is for every woman, because I've encountered some of them on this platform who still, you could just tell they have low self-esteem issues and all the things. But I'm just saying, I'm just speaking for myself. Yeah, like if I'm not the type for you, I don't. Okay, on to the next. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that, just to piggyback off of that, that's my mentality. Like, I'm quick to tell somebody just like off a conversation and how we interact. Like, if we do decide to go out, I'm like, this don't work. I think you should date somebody else, and that's just me being confident in myself and me knowing like I know this isn't gonna work, and you're gonna waste my time. So I don't want to waste your time, and I think you're better suited elsewhere. But Leslie is correct. Like, I know when I was younger and I was dating and like getting my heart broken and stuff like that, I would have to lean back on like my uncles, my mom, and my dad to like build me back up. But now I'm like, I don't care if you don't like me. So, and like I feel like that just comes with age and you coming into your own.
yeah, like kind of what y'all explaining is a difference in independent and dependent.
Mhm.
If For example, if Luck shot at me and I'm just like, no, I'm too pretty for that. I can't work with you. And I just hung up the phone. If she's dependent, then she's gonna be, he doesn't like me. I must be this. I must be this. It must, or go to the dust panels. These men's ain't making. That means she's dependent. She's dependent on me. Or she could say, man, you know what? I don't like his big head and his teeth. No way. I'll get another man twice as big, strong, and rich as him anyway. Just independent. You already know where you stand,
Mm-hmm.
and you know the
Right.
source where it came from, and you just keep on moving,
Yep.
or
Right.
keep building like where you already were.
You're exactly right.
Dependent confidence sucks. I can't lie. Times I'm counting and I got all these expectations, and if it crashes and burns, I crash and burn too. I don't want to be there no more. I've been there. This now.
But I will say for me, I feel like sometimes I might be overly confident in when it comes to dating. Cause like I'm quick, like now, cause I'm 36, I'll be 37 in August. So I'm like super quick now, like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I'm not dealing with it. Go talk to somebody else. Or if I see it before we even have an actual interaction, I'm just like, like friend zone, and I keep it moving. But like I said, I had to go through many different experiences and settings, and it was just, I don't know.
Just
And
out of
sometimes,
curiosity,
uh-huh.
do you
Right.
feel like you're overly confident, or do you feel like you're picky, or both?
So, I'm not picky. I'm just not accepting BS. And I feel like a lot of men in this area that I'm in are on BS because it's so many, I think, great women in the DMV area to pick from. So, in my opinion, I think the ratio, I'm going to say 50-1. So, they have options. Whereas with the men, it's not, I don't feel like it's like that for the women. So,
Hmm.
and me, if I even remotely feel like it's something, or like, say for instance, I went out on Friday and the person I went with, we didn't click. Like before I even got to the date, he tried to yell at me. So I was like, I don't think I'm gonna come because of this. And then he was like, no, it's cool, just still come. So I went, and then like the vibe was weird because I already put out like, I'm not messing with you like that. This is the first date. Like, let's see if we vibe and get to know each other. And then if so, we could talk about other stuff on down the line. But he just wasn't having it. So for me, I feel like that's a waste of time because he kept trying to push the issue. So I don't think that makes me picky because I'm not necessarily like, oh, you got to have a head full of hair or you got to have a beard. You got to make 200K. Like, I'm pretty flexible in what I want dating wise. So
Right. So it's really like about red flags. You're
yes.
just like, no. Okay, I feel you.
I'd be like, hell no. So yeah.
No way.
Huh?
If I wanted to just take your confidence right now, could it be done?
Do what?
Is
Say
there
that
something
again.
I could say or do right now and just rip your confidence in half?
I don't think so.
Is there something Leslie could say right now and just tear your confidence in half and have your face in the pillow somewhere?
No.
Especially not me, because I don't know her.
But
So that would be.
so for me, I feel like we're all entitled to our own opinion. So like, just because I might think this is like this, that doesn't mean you view it like that. So it's up to you to know where you stand with yourself. So nothing really bothers me. At least that's how I've trained myself to be. Like, if it doesn't involve like my child or my family, I'm good for the most part.
Really?
Yeah.
How about you? Is there something I could say right now? Because I remember what happened when you was 8. And I just bring it up and blow it up online. And I remember that other time that you're telling me there's nothing I can say and do and just tear your confidence. You're going to go and check into rehab.
Probably not. Whatever listen, I've come through a lot. I've gone through a lot. I've healed from a lot. So it would take a lot. I think that the only person who could really like affect me would be somebody who's very close to me. You understand what I'm saying? Like somebody online who doesn't know me, it would, you know, there's not a chance. But I could see maybe, I mean, it would have to be like my mother. I mean, it would have to be like somebody who's really close, you know. Um, yeah.
Oh yeah. What about? Is there something I could do?
Nothing. There's nothing you
Nothing
can
I
do.
can do.
Nothing. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do.
Nothing I
Even
can do.
if there was something that you said that maybe I may be struggling with, I've already come to grips that I'm struggling with it, and it's me that can only tear myself down. So there's nothing you can say.
It leads me to my next question. Let's just say I did, or somebody did,
Hmm.
tore your confidence in half. What you gonna do?
If if that happened, I know I can get it back.
How would you
I
get
know
it
how.
back?
Well, one, I would first inspect myself. What is it about what they said or did? Like why did that bother me? So I try to do like deductive reasoning. Why what is it that they said that bothered me? Is it that thing that they said, the way that they said it, or where it came from? Where do I have the issue? If it's that you said it, then I need to figure out why you are so important to me that your opinion would matter that way. If it's your tone, why is it that I can't receive feedback from somebody at a certain level? I need to adjust, get myself to a point where whether somebody whispered, whether they yelled it, if it's true, then it's just true. Is it that thing that they said is actually true? Well, if that thing is true, is it something I can change? If it's something I can change, why am I not changing it? If I haven't changed it because I don't feel strong enough in myself, who can I reach out to, or what resources do I have that can help me so that I can regroup? But I'm visiting all of that to figure out how to get me back to whole. So I would get back.
Oh, that's right. That was good.
Oh, right.
Welcome to the hot seat. Somebody done said and did something, and it just wasn't what it is. Got fired. I don't know. Somebody said you was crazy. Put out some. Somehow you ain't feeling like you're feeling today, and your confidence is at a question mark. What do you do?
Listen, I've been through so much stuff. I just feel like God would just have a better plan and a bigger plan for me. I just, if something is just so if something happened to me and it's just so detrimental and it's not like what I thought it was going to be, and maybe, you know, I failed in some sort of way, I don't even look at it as anything bad happened to me as some sort of level of failure. It is what it is. That's just life, you know? Um, I just feel like there's something better. I'm a very optimistic person, and that's just what's happened to me in the past. It's always like a setup for something better. It's always something better right around the corner. So, I mean, you know, as you get older, you start to learn that. You start to understand the patterns, and you know, you get upset for a little bit. You drink, you hang out, drink a glass or two. I'm not one of those. I'm not a lush, but you know, you do what you have to do, and then it's just like, all right, let me get back in the game, and then you just brush yourself off and do it. That's just life.
I'm gonna get one of y'all. You know what, Lux? I just don't like you. I never did, and I'm gonna break in your house and stick and just clean it out, steal all your appliances. Then I'm gonna cut and make you need 50 stitches. How you feel? You're muted. You're still muted. Can't hear you.
Did you break into a house and take our technology? What you do?
Nah, I'm struggling with my own
Michael gone?
technology. I'm struggling with my own technology.
I just want to talk to somebody in the chat. No, I'm not a lush, L Nix. That's all I wanted to say. And hello to the chat. Special shout out to L Nixon and to Jedi Mike. Those are the two that are very familiar to me.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
hi
People.
guys.
Shout
Yes.
out to L Nix for president, Jedi Mike
You know
for vice
what?
president. No, every time I see him, he actually drops some real deal, some powerful knowledge. It's a cool dude. I just ain't seen him around in a minute. Oh, she's in the back. My bad.
Can you
Oh,
hear
sorry,
me
look.
now? It was me. I dropped off because my mic wasn't
Now,
working.
now I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
So I took your microphone and your confidence. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna go to sleep. So I don't know, like it takes a lot to bother me. So that's just where I'm at with everything.
So it ain't that easy.
No, and I know how to ignore people. So
That is an amazing skill.
yeah. Look, it took forever to perfect it, but I got to
Yes.
see. So, yeah.
Here's a question. Just being honest, and I'm just being honest when I'm taking a shot. I say about 70% of men have low self-esteem.
Mhm.
I say 75 to 80% of women, especially black, have low self-esteem. It just is what it is. Even when they say something, I can see the pain from 400 miles away. I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounding good Tuesday, wait till Thursday and they ask a different question. You'll see. Or wait till Saturday when they turn the lights off. You'll see. I see a lot of people not having a lot what some of y'all have and some of y'all say. If something happens, I can get it back. I know who I am. My father told me this. I've been through this before and I came out on top. I've overcome. I've pretty much taken down the monsters before and I know how I did it and I can do it again. What do you say to the people out there who are struggling with some of these problems? Anybody? As far as solutions, we'll take, at this point, we'll take whatever we can get.
So something that I tell people that I feel like are struggling with their confidence or the weight of the world is all of this is temporary. So I don't feel like, and of course I'm gonna plug God too. I just don't feel like God will lead you somewhere and just leave you in a bad situation forever. But you have to do the work as well to get yourself out of said situation to overcome it too. So it's a lot of stuff that's going to be sent to destroy you, but how you navigate it and you being resilient is what determines you. So that's what I tell people.
I would say first, like I believe in self-inspection, Psalm 139, but I believe in looking in yourself first, like just being honest first and foremost of what it is. I'm not, when I said that you couldn't take my confidence, I can take it from myself, right? So there may be some things that like I'm struggling with myself and I have to just really just check in with myself. Is this something that can be changed? And then I got to be honest with myself of why I'm not changing it. So I would first say to somebody, be honest with where you are. You can't be where somebody else. You can't grab somebody else's confidence and wear it like a coat. It has to be authentically yours. It has to be yours. So then once you realize it, sometimes, like with God, like how we're made, sometimes you may want to have, my hair, my sister's hair, it's like she can get more styles than I can, right? Now I can either just say, oh, let me just appreciate my sister's different styles of hairdos that she has, because I can't have her hair, my natural hair. I can't have what she has. So some things you're going to have to just accept too. Some things you just don't have. Some things you can have, but you have to decide how much you're willing to work for it. You have to acknowledge when you are being lazy, when you're not doing what you need to do to get there. So you got to be honest with yourself. So one, self-inflection, be honest and work on the things that you can. Don't assume that you're going to be able to get to that place you're trying to get to the next day. Understand it's going to be a process. sometimes that process is crazy. Like right now, I'm out of shape, and working out to get to that better place. Hey, that thing look crazy right now. So I have to acknowledge the fact that I've, kind of let myself go, and then realize that one, I want to be happy with how I look in the mirror. And the only way I'm gonna be able to do that is I got to do some work. I got to drink more water. I got to listen to channels like, Scam, you always talking about like how to eat and, just getting yourself together, but like listening to people that are giving you encouragement or giving you advice, you can decide to take it. Then when you don't take it, acknowledge the fact that you are slowing the process down. So that's what I would say. Self-reflection. I would say like a mirror and a hammer. Look at yourself and then fix it. Fix what you can. That's all for me.
Yeah, I thought, no, that was really good. I don't even know how to follow that. That was so good. First, I would like to acknowledge, okay, I see you, Nixon. Thank you for the resilience. Thank you for that. I do want to say, listen, I agree with everything you just said. You have to look inward and just go deep, if you're not where you want to be and there's things that you need to work on. And you're right. You have to come to terms about some things. Like, this is just the way that I am, and there's nothing that I can do about it. So I need to embrace it and I need to love it. So I didn't even think about that. That is so true. I just want to say ditto on everything she said. It was so spot on. So
I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to come up and ask questions. And just so, of course, everybody knows we don't do the gender war, beat up the men, the black men. We're not doing that over here. But I don't think those people. I keep stuff slow and boring over here to keep them people away anyway.
May I say something real quick while you wait for people?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, so I don't know either of you, Lux or Leslie. I don't know y'all. I am so honored to be up here with y'all. And I'm hoping that some of the stuff that y'all have talked about, that I go back to my treasure chest. And I mean, I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. It's just an honor to be up here. Really, it is. Thank you, Scam.
Likewise.
Thank you. Yeah, y'all are, just based off of responses and interactions so far, phenomenal women. And I think this is a good panel. So I'm appreciative as well.
I agree. You guys definitely don't represent any bird behavior. And I am so happy to be sharing a space with you.
Look,
we don't do that over. There's plenty of dust panels, and trust me, I'm one of the worst trolls. There's plenty of space for that. Over here is conversations that need to be had that aren't being had.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Now, may I ask you a question, Scam? And look, I'm sorry, I know this is your thing.
Go ahead.
What was it that made you feel this trio was a good combination for this topic?
I like something that you said to start. I'll start with you. Because when I was doing the confidence thing last week, I remember there was a book that I had in the airport when I was in my 20s called Confidence. And it said, when you're having bad times or dealing with this and struggling, fumbling, whatever, go and fixate your mind on the time that you were successful. And I think it was you that put in the chat that you go pull out your cheerleading trophies or something. I was like, that's pretty good. And then my friend in real life from high school, he was in the chat. He was saying he'd pull out his awards. I'm like, she'd be perfect for this conversation. And the other thing, I knew you were going to say that your source of your confidence is Jesus Christ. I knew you were going to say that. Because a lot of things is unconfident people don't have a source. So they're dependent on social media talk and or all these all over the place standards and junk that don't even exist. Anything that's coming out their mouth because there is no source. But I can tell you, the refrigerator is one source of mine. Jesus is one. Here's the other one. pull-up bar, 95-pound dumbbells. Get your body right, get your fridge right, just to get started. The other one is the mirror. Another one is this microphone. Say positive things to yourself. I'm a champion. I got this. I'm about to get up here and troll 15 people this week. Meet my quota. Or say good things. But I mean, Peace Love said some positive things. I heard her talking on Instagram. She was bringing some fire. And I know Lux. Lux is pretty cool. And she doesn't, I'm going to say it. People say stuff and she doesn't move. It's like, oh, all right, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah. And then, yeah. So, wanted some people who are somewhat tested and could relate to it being a source as well as overcome something. And people who are better looking than me. I couldn't find any, so I just got y'all. But nah,
No,
the link is dropped.
Really good. This was a
if
really
anybody
good
does want to come up. Yeah, if anybody does want to come up. Otherwise, this is my last question, and just be honest. And then I can go to final thoughts. And just say it as it is, whatever you see. Are black men the source of confidence? The black men that you see today?
Absolutely.
Are they pouring in or tearing or taking from?
Oh, I feel like those are two different questions.
Well, meaning black men as a whole, are they building black women's confidence or are they tearing it down?
That's interesting because there's virtual reality and then there's reality. And in my reality, I'm surrounded by amazing men who are, yeah, that's a hard question for me to ask. I grew up with amazing men. I'm talking about like my father's friends, my brother's friends, my mom's brothers, my dad's brother. I mean, but virtual reality, like what's happening on social media, I'm like, oh my gosh, they are some real ignorant BS niggas out here. I'm trying to be, yeah. But I wasn't surrounded with that. So it's a hard question for me to answer. I'm sorry.
Mel, you don't even get an introduction. You're just up here.
Hey y'all, don't do me like that. I had a long day.
Hello.
You're so late you don't get an intro.
I'm sorry.
I'm
still eating like I'm just not eating.
No, welcome to the stage, Mel. Thanks for pulling up.
I want to piggyback off of what Leslie said. For the most part, the men in my circle are that I meet just in passing. They are not these men that are in this manosphere. So like a lot of the topics that they're pushing down people's throats, and I don't know. I just feel like it's more stuff to discuss than it's women's fault that the black family isn't working or men are sassy. Like, how do we fix this stuff? What's the next solution? Why don't we pour into each other instead of trying to tear one another down? So for me, like I said, I'm kind of sick of it. That's why I go on my little social media hiatuses to avoid that, because it's easy for people's thoughts to be influenced, even though a lot of people say they're not, but the proof is in the pudding. So unless you just outright come out and repeat some of the talking points from this space, to me, you're fine. And I'm not like necessarily looking for that, because I think that that's negative and it's doing more harm than good. So
referee timeout. I got a cash app from L Nixon.
okay.
L Nixon, unfortunately, I ain't got everything set up and all the soundboards. You just get a song. Thank you. Thank you.
You know what?
What was that? Oh, DIY.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, who has a harmonica just sitting right next to him? Like, who did that?
Yeah, until I get my money right. That's what we get. But thank you for your for your appreciation. Right, continue.
No, I said what I had to say. I think if people actually get outside and explore and they use discernment, even in these YouTube streets, the world would be a better place. So,
Unfortunately, men are the source of confidence for Black men are the source of confidence for a lot of women. And I know it's this panel. I've been listening to y'all the whole time. I've been in the comments, but like I said, I was getting home, getting settled, trying to get some food. But honestly, as much as we like to say, like we could be strong, a lot of people aren't, and a lot of that has to do with their confidence, and they invest a lot of their confidence or the way they carry themselves or the things that they do based on Black men on this screen, not just this screen, but on their phones, on the screen, on Instagram and stuff like that. So it's easy for us to say one thing, but in reality, Black men do have a lot of influence on a lot of women's now sound like you women's confidence.
but now, can you deep dive into that a little bit more, because I disagree. So
you don't think that, I'm not saying us in particular, I'm saying like just our culture, our generation, like even women our age that may not even have had like a strong foundation or not confident within themselves or have insecurities that they're afraid to address. When you don't think that
for that age plays a big part, but like in your 30s, I don't
it's
feel like
women our age that's doing the same thing. You don't see it?
I don't see it. And that's what I be telling people.
Because you only on Instagram like 2 days a month.
Or like the circle of friends I have, it's not.
I was gonna say that, and then
like that. And that's what I be trying to tell people, because people be like, "Oh, you're lying." No, I'm not. I don't really mind y'all business, but from what I see, it's not like that.
But see, again, Eva, you go back to your circle of friends. But see, with me, it's not my circle of friends. I teach in middle school and high school, so I see some of their mothers, which are some of them are my age and some of them are a little bit older. And sometimes I look at them and the things they say, and I just listen because I'm around them, and I'm just like, wow, like it just blows my mind, especially with a lot of them being older. And for me, being, even if we're the same age, like you got a kid that's like 14, 15, 16, and this is still your mentality on like how much of what you got going on has to do with what somebody says on the internet. Like you got a whole almost grown kid, and this is still your thought process, but it happens. And I just sit there.
I can see how the internet would have, and we spoke on this in the beginning, especially when you're younger. I didn't have the internet, growing up. So yeah.
Yes, we did. No.
I'm a whole 44-year-old woman. I'm 44. I didn't have it.
You're not much older than us. So
dial up, Eva.
Well, maybe I should be more specific. I should be more specific. I didn't have social media all the way till high school. So you're talking about like high school kids, right? High school age.
Me?
I'm
you said talking about women like in their 30s and 40s.
Oh, okay.
But
they have high school age kids.
Oh, they have high school age. Okay, I got you.
I feel like,
but
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leslie.
No, I mean, if it wasn't for the internet, I'm like Lux. I wouldn't have known it existed because I that's not my circle. I just didn't grow up with that. So that's why it's hard for me to make a blanket statement, because there are women like me, Lux, Emmy, who, we're still part of the Black community. So I can't just make a blanket statement and say like Black men are affecting women's confidence, because I don't see it. Emmy doesn't see it. Lux doesn't see it.
No.
And that's just our reality. But that's not to say that it doesn't exist. It's just that it's hard for me to say. It's just hard for me to say like this is just what it is for the Black community.
Leslie, go back to what you said. You said that's y'all's reality. What I said, and I gave a scenario, that is my reality and what I see.
Hold on, Mel. So this is what I'm gonna say. And women that have not taken the time, that's our age, to take the time to get to know them, what influences are has a negative impact on their confidence, yes, men
That's what
probably
I
do
said
control
that.
it.
I said
But
they
that's
haven't
not
addressed
the
it.
norm for everybody.
I didn't say that. I just
To
said
me,
I
I'm gonna be
see
looking
it.
at you sideways, and that's
No,
something
no.
like people talk about to me because I'm gonna be like, girl, hell no, come on, like get up. And me, like y'all will never catch me online crying behind no man. I'm just not doing it. If it didn't work, it just didn't work. I'm not lonely. I'm gonna go outside and go find me something to do. Keep myself
Listen.
busy, learn a new skill, something. So
But see,
Like I
that's
always
what
say,
I'm
I like to
saying.
take
But
my
see,
L's in private. I like to take
I
my
would say,
L's in private.
I would say, but see, that's my thing too. Is like with me, when I see it and I hear it and I like whatever, I don't engage because I'm not gonna say I don't care, but I kind of don't care because my circle is my circle, and I'm around y'all because I'm around y'all kids, and y'all be gossiping and stuff, and I just be sitting there. Coach Mel just be listening. I just be like shaking my head in my head and trying not to wear it on my face because I'm just like, this is really what y'all are talking. Like some of them, like I said, some of them are older than me, but you and I see them like even on social media and stuff. Like you say, crying over a man, like this, that, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, this is so stupid. Like it doesn't make sense to me. So
May I say
I
something
don't
real
know.
quick? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I just don't. I honestly, I don't want to say necessarily a black man, but I was just saying that because Scam said that. But men in general, it's like they let them have a unfair like advantage over them, like not unfair advantage. That's the wrong what's the wrong thing? Influence over them that doesn't make sense in my mind and in my circle and where I am in my life. Me and they don't even know.
Oh shit.
go ahead.
Wax School podcast. I wasn't checking. Sorry, I didn't see you in the back.
Go ahead, Annie, because I want to hear what
Hey.
you say. Yeah.
Oh,
Curious.
It's okay.
I would say, I think that like, so I know that for us, you know, I don't want to apologize for how I was brought up. I don't want to apologize for the fact that I do have some really strong black men in my circle, and they have always been uplifting. So I'm not going to take away from the blessing that I had in that. I do realize that everybody does not have that. And I do think that what I see, not just on YouTube, I'm talking about, you know, I have to sometimes talk to some of my colleagues about some stuff that they're dealing with personal, you know, from a personal perspective. And it does seem like they get torn down mentally when a man walks away or when a man says a certain thing. Like one of my colleagues, she has 4 or 5 children. I can't quite figure out just yet, but I heard her explain how someone telling her that because she's a mother of 4, that she's basically no good to no other man. And she took that, like she accepted that from him saying that. So sometimes when we are, you know, almost empty, you know, it's almost like you go to a restaurant and you get a third of ice. Well, that only works, you know, when you get certain kind of drinks, or it's going to be watered down. You can't, we should not be allowing people to pierce us in that way, but some people do. So now what happens when you're around someone who maybe is not as strong, not as confident, not able to bounce back like I am or like you are? And there's some things that I don't bounce back as quickly. Like I said, a lot of it is self-inflicted, but I'm sure the right formula and the right people in the room, it may snatch me out a little bit. So what we got to do is work on these small steps. We got to encourage in small steps. For you know, if you say black men, it may be men, but don't allow anything to do that. So how do you bounce back from anything snatching your confidence like that? How do you strengthen yourself so that you don't allow certain things? Maybe you don't get a job. You know, maybe somebody, you know, beat you out of an opportunity or whatever, business opportunity. How do you accept that and move on? Like, that's the thing that I feel like we have to try to encourage and be around others and not and I'm not saying that anybody over here did that, but like not make somebody feel bad because they didn't bounce back as quickly. I'm going to always say visit the source of where my strength comes from. Like I know as long as God exists and has forever and ever and ever, I know that things can change. I know that things can get better. I may think that something is supposed to come in this way. I need to be okay with knowing it may be prepackaged or maybe packaged in a different way. And I got to try to instill that in somebody else. I charge myself always with trying to make sure that I allow the Holy Spirit to speak through me to other people, to uplift them, to remind them that they are greater than where they feel like they are. So that's what I would say. So like it could be a man for one person. It could be lack of education for somebody else. But the ways that I am strong, I hope to be helpful to someone in their weakness in that area. And I pray and hope for somebody to be the same for me.
Man. I think, a lot of women do base their confidence on, in correlation with the men because we want to be desired. And that's just a human nature thing. And it starts in childhood. We know that a lot of, shout out to the panel, Scam, sir. Sorry, I'm late.
You're good.
A lot of the experiences or the deficiencies that we come to realize, when we really can take accountability and when we really can rely on God, stems from when we're children. And when you have somebody that neglected you, or like, as my sister said, when you're bullied and you want to be accepted and you're trying to fit into these groups, sometimes you see where you fall, whether it's by your classism or by your color, or, based on, you have buck teeth or short hair, nappy hair. Like, it really starts in our youth. And sometimes it carries on if we're fortunate, like, to get people like Anya, or if we're fortunate to get around people that can affirm you, or if you learn how to do those things and build yourself up, not in a revengeful way, but in a healthy way, it helps. You start to become rounded and not base your value on other people. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't come to that knowledge. They come to YouTube, they see the trends, they try to do the shortcuts. They say, well, how can 10 ways to get a man's attention, right? 10 ways to be more sexy, 10 ways to get more validation. And it's these toxic talking points, it's these horrible references and these one-up encouragements that tries to help you achieve it in a shorter time. And it just starts to generate the cycle where you're not yourself. You're not cultivating who you are. You're cultivating somebody else. You know what I'm saying? The baddie's perspective. You're not cultivating Stephanie's perspective. You're not incorporating Lux's perspective. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking at yourself and introspectively. You're cultivating somebody. The general populace identity, and lots of times real men, they're like, don't do that. Don't follow trends. Don't do the lashes. Don't do the BBLs. But sometimes if a person lacks that confidence, they're gonna say like, well, no, it seems like this is trending, this is what the algorithm is feeding you and all this stuff. So sometimes you do have to get offline and get into real life and do the work, heal, get around healthy people with a healthy perspective, get God, hallelujah. And really cleanse. The Bible is about cleansing, purging, renewing. We don't even take the time to do that. We don't even take time to detox our body, get in the gym. Like, we don't take the time to let our mind rest and really get to be quiet with ourselves, because we really don't like ourselves. So those are the issues that we have to address, and then have a healthy perspective, and then reinsert ourselves around people, and the men can appreciate you for who you are. And if they don't, then you have to just move to the next person that does, and not let them take away anything from you, because your value is what you've come to realize and uncover for yourself, and nobody can take that away from you.
Can I say something?
No. Go ahead.
Anyways, okay. So I think life is beautiful. It's a journey unknown. You got to take the highs with the lows, but where I think we as people collectively tend to lack is that we fail to have grace with ourselves. So you don't know what's going to happen at any given time. We don't know when our life ends, what can happen. Like, I could get off of here right now and let's say I win the lotto or something. Like, it's just expect the unexpected, but we need to heal. And I think that plays a big part in being confident and not letting other people determine your worth or your value. So I'm not going to sit up here and try to lie and be like, I haven't experienced situations that didn't break me, but I don't know. Like I said, if you have grace and you're willing to do that work to overcome that situation, you'll be fine. And then you do need the right tribe as well. So I think, is it Anya? How do you say your name?
That's fine. You say it like that. I know what you said.
Okay.
That's fine.
I think that she mentioned having like the right people to affirm you. And that's normally me and my friend group. Like, I'm the affirmer. But I'm also like the tough love and compassionate one. So I don't know. I just feel like you have to listen to the situation. And if they want the solution, be there to give it to them. If not, just be there to lend a listening ear to help them get through whatever they're going through. But it's up to you to determine what you think you're worth and what you need work on and whatnot. So that's all I got.
I would say too, pick something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't think you have to be confident in like 50 things at the same time. Pick one and just really work on that one, and then when you finish that one, move to the next thing, so just give yourself a break. If you are where you are right now, you can't change, like if you feel like you should have this degree, or you feel like you should be this weight, or you feel like you should have this, you're here now. Right here is where you are. Pick something. Pick it. Find somebody that can help you. First, try on your own. See what you can do just all on your own first. And then when you can't do no more, then reach out and figure out where you can get some help from. It's a whole lot of YouTube videos on how-tos. It's people out there that won't make you feel bad for where you are. Find those people and, pray for discernment of like when you land in those places, and just work on that one thing. Hey, Vaughn.
Welcome to the show, Vaughn, on West Coast time. We'll move on to final thoughts, but since I'm the host, I'm going to cheat because I can do my own pre-final thoughts and then do post-final thoughts too. But hey, I'm the host, I can do that. Pre-final thoughts is this. You can say black men, black women, or you can say men and women. At the end of the day, we weren't taught how to be in relationships at all. 90% of us know. There's a lot of stuff we needed and we didn't get it. We didn't get taught it. We didn't get whatever. We can use that in plain wine or whatever. All it's going to do is make the situations worse. But we're going to continue to work with each other in jobs and buffet and wherever it is. The gym, we're going to be here. Women ain't going nowhere. Men ain't going nowhere. Tearing people down has a worse effect on your own self than it does the other person. Because that means the negativity flowed through somewhere, through your veins, feet, ankles, diet, and got into your subconscious mind, to your conscious mind, out your mouth, and with the action of actually going out and expressing something negative. The expression of something negative is nothing but a reflection of who you really are. So you're showing, hey, I got something bad going on. Bad, negative, foul, shady, whatever. Like if you're into comedy and dusting and crusting like me, I get it. But y'all know. I just troll. Let me drop the link. But what's his name? Y'all people come at the last minute. You're lucky I like some of y'all.
We sorry.
Oh, there you go, Jedi. There you go, Jedi Mike. Oh, he said afterwards. Cool. You're better off putting something positive in your brain and then actually putting it out there to the community. Because you're actually practicing doing something that's actually positive. Which is actually going to help you. Your choice to do so. You might want to find a better source if you're actually dependent on others, because others are who they are. Most of them ain't got confidence either. So the standards and the I got to look like them, be like this, and also they ain't got no confidence either. So there's a bunch of people tearing each other down over nothing. That ain't what it is. But I do offer an apology to black women for what the manosphere is actually doing. I've been going against the manosphere, going 1-on-8 on their panels, flipping them upside down before they don't even let me talk no more. But it's different. I'm going against 1-on-8 men, where another panel you see 8 men lined up to go against 1 black woman. And then they get their ass whooped, shanked, ganked, and spanked. 8 of y'all got dragged by a baby mama that you complain about taught you don't want. And I take down 8 of y'all in 3 talking points. But what over what? What's the competition? For what? Their trophy in this? But I thought you had goals and something we're actually supposed to be working towards. I'm just saying. But best sources to me, spirituality, the mirror, your microphone, you speak to your own damn self, the gym, these things actually work. Then do the slow processes day to day. Refer back to the time where you want and put your mind in that mindset. Or get trolled by me, your choice. That's all I got for now. Final thoughts. Let's start from the top. Once I figure out how to get to that other screen. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
What you got? What's going on?
So I just want to say thanks for having me. Hopefully in the future, not just on your channel, but on other channels, there will be more productive conversations on how we could try to fix things between men and women, not just black men and black women. I don't know, because like I told y'all earlier, I'm over it, and I don't know how much more I could take, because now I'm ready to start going on people's panels and being irate. So that's where I'm at.
Okay,
But
Mel, the Trolluminati is hiring. We are.
But I want to say to you, Scam, thank you for putting this group of women together. They were phenomenal, very welcoming and knowledgeable on the topics, and hopefully I see you guys in the future. So, and good luck on your goals and journeys as well.
Look at that positivity.
Always.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna drop you down to the back. Yeah, I'm still struggle streaming.
I just want to say,
what's going on?
nothing much. Just for those of y'all who are confused, my channel was Peace Love. I had a channel. I no longer have the channel, so you can call me Leslie. So I just want to say once again, thank you so much to you for inviting me to this awesome conversation with some amazing women. Very happy to meet every single one of y'all. I thought that this was such a productive conversation. And it, you know what? I'm going to walk away with this. This is the one thing I'm definitely going to take with me. I need to go to the gym tomorrow. I need to get it together. I need to get it together. So all that to say, if there's something that you want to work on, go ahead and work on it. It may take some time, but one thing that you definitely should not do is bring down the next woman or the next person because you feel some sort of way about yourself. Take the time to work on yourself. And if you find yourself constantly like jealous or feeling some sort of way because someone has said something to you that has affected you negatively, you need to find out the reason why and work on that. And it's probably something really deep. And as some of us have already mentioned, it could be something all the way that's happened all the way back in your childhood. So do the work and get to where you ultimately want to be. And, be your absolute best. Don't affect other people's day just because you are not feeling confident about yourself in whatever way. So once again, thank you so much for the invite. This was a great conversation. I look forward to more conversations in the future.
Thank you. I'll be dropping you down to the back. But thank you for coming through. Thank you for all that you do. Y'all are always welcome over here, and I hold my promise. There will be no men's, women's, and black women. We're not doing that over here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's my big head. Hold on. My technology game is not on point. Not even close.
I want to thank you again for thinking of me to come up here. I thank each of you women that were on the panel for your graciousness, the respect that you've shown, and for all the encouragement that you've given to any women that's watching this. I thank you also, Scam, because what you've demonstrated is while there may be maybe some women have felt that Black men are tearing them down, you actually are trying to make room to uplift us. So I thank you for that. I would tell women, if you are thinking that you're going to be perfect, throw that out the window. Throw it out the window. You are perfectly imperfect. You are perfectly growing. And you are perfect exactly where you are. Just make sure you take a proper assessment of where you are. It may not be pretty to you in the mirror, but that's where you are. And just start from there, because you can't change anything other than this moment right now. So that's all I would say. Thank you again.
Thank you. And thank you for the trophy the comment about the trophies. That still rings in my mind. And my friend said about pulling out his awards. Yeah, that's some real stuff.
Yeah, have a good
We'll
night.
We'll drop you down to the back. Thank you. White School Podcast. What's going on in these streets?
What's up? Scam, I am so sorry I'm late, but I work on these nights and I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, I see you sent me a link. And I was like, I want to show up and show my support for that little one input that I had, but I just, appreciate what you're doing. The first step is making that first step. If you're inviting us women, you are letting us speak and just, letting us, run wild, I love it. And, seeing a person's mind, if a man knows that when you stimulate a woman's mind, then she opens up. And so I just thank you that you allow your platform for women to open up and, start the conversation, even though we try to start it. People try to start it so many times, it turns into something else. It goes left, it turns into a war, and we get off topic and end up at the same place. But I hope that this starts a new trajectory in men and women coming together and being reasonable and respecting each other. And that's where it all starts. Thank you for starting it.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
We'll drop you down to the back. Last and least, Mel.
I'm so sorry. I really was working all day today and I had just got home. So I'm sorry I'm late, but it was a great conversation. And like I said, what I was catching, I was trying to be in the comments, but it was a great conversation and I hope it continues. And I promise, I ain't gonna say I promise I won't be late next time. I hope I won't be late next time, but it was a great conversation. And like I said, I just hope it continues. I hope it's another opportunity so we can all be on the same panel and have deeper conversations. Because I think it's a little bit more to be said. I know the group of women you brought together, great group of women, but we really have to look into not overall, but more so into what's not being talked about. I think that's the only part that we miss, because I love the positivity. I love everybody trying to pour something into somebody else, but I think a lot of people are afraid to address certain things, and it's not because they don't have the motivation of somebody positive. It's because nobody's really calling it out. So that's it. But next time, I got you.
Next time, one time. That'd be nice too.
Yes.
But thank you for your support. Oh, without even trying, I ran a 640 mile last week too.
Oh, you did? That's good. You've been doing the mile repeats?
No, I've been struggling with the diet. I'm actually about 181.
Did you take a break though and then ran it?
Just say without pushing, if I can do a 640. My fastest last year was a 628.
Oh,
I'm about to be able to run by July, I'll be running a 6-minute mile.
Yeah. Oh no, that's good. You're doing good though. You're making good progress.
Unless if I can stay away from the butter biscuits. But,
Oh yeah, no, you need to stop the butter biscuits. Ramadan start tonight, so just take that out your diet.
I'm gonna make it. But thanks for your support.
Always.
We'll drop you down. Struggle streaming, and let's be real. 5 minutes, 10 minutes before they started, I was mad. Like almost outraged. PC, MacBook, and I'm up here with a cell phone. I've been struggling trying to get this thing. But you know what? I can sit here and be as negative as I want to be. Oh, it's the computer small. I hate it. Or I can just work with what I got and just try to have the best show I can. And honestly, I received positivity from the people who just came on the panel and people in the chat. I appreciate y'all. I got Bolo over here. Hey, appreciate you, Bolo. Thanks for coming through. Long story short, I shared a little bit. Here's the deal. Confidence is critical. Not much you can do. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe you can do anything. And I hear so much negativity and destruction amongst people tearing down people and tearing down people who tear down more people. It just doesn't work. And then expecting something on the back end. I don't know what your source or who your leaders are, but the answer is just no. That's unacceptable behavior. This needs to change. I'm not perfect. Y'all see me reckless trolling, but y'all know I troll in good faith. And sometimes it's to express a point, or sometimes I actually have went too far. I can hold myself accountable and say, hey, I've dusted it. But to anybody I over trolled or did whatever, I'm not above approach. I'll offer you an apology right now, or I'll offer you one whenever saying, hey man, I like what you said. We can have that conversation. Because the intentions aren't to tear people down. I'm thinking about doing a show about judgment. And to be honest, I didn't know I was a judgmental person until I was 19, my own self. And I still work at day to day to try to change it. Because don't have intentions on just ripping people's souls out. It's not really fun. It's not the thing. Now, if you come at me, then yeah, it is what it is. I'm a beast on this microphone. I got some jokes. But overall, men, first, build your own confidence. Everything's going to start and rely on men. This is a male-dominated world. Get in the mirror, get in the gym. Get somewhere, get the microphone and start saying positive things to yourself. Tell yourself you're a champion. But then go do the work to make sure it actually backs itself up. Get a plan, get on track. Get around the people who are winning. Yeah, do what you're supposed to do. But don't go you don't have to build yourself up by tearing women down. Oh, look at them black women because they're black. Look at them black. No, they're just as black as you are, and they're a reflection of you and your leadership. It just ain't the way. Women, stop tearing black men down. Oh, these men, they ain't making no money. No. Don't attack their confidence, the masculine, all the stuff that they can play. Some of it is true. Stop it. Decide, hey, I'm going to do better. I'm going to work on myself, and I'm going to create a better environment. Or you're just going to lose. That's just what it is. But thank y'all for attending. Thank y'all for your support. Thank y'all who came to the beginning, to the end, to the middle, to everything. And I'm learning from y'all. I'm still trying to grow my own self. Maybe next time I can actually have my computer put together on time. But the internet don't work on one MacBook. I ain't supposed to use the PC. And my other computer won't even boot up. 2 Macs broke and a PC broke. I'm on the cell phone. Next time we're going to have it in order. We have a good show. We have a good time. Go to the gym. Take care of your physical fitness. Take care of your mental state. Work on your confidence and work on the way that you communicate. Those are the most things that just as baseline of a person we need to work on. And you can do individually. Those individual things will actually influence the people around you, making this world a better place. Talk to your spiritual head. Mine is Jesus. He hasn't missed yet. That's all I got. Till next time. And whenever in doubt, dust.